How do you like to start your day? Maybe it's with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. Either way, there's a good chance that one of the first things that you reach for is this, a bottle of milk, plastic bottle of milk. Now, as a print artist, I see this as something more that holds just some white liquid. I see it as the opportunity to make prints. Because did you know you can use the plastic from a milk bottle to make little etching plates and to print cute little etchings like this? If you'd like to find out more, then stick around for the next little while on the virtual village hall this morning. And if you'd like to join in, then all of the equipment and materials are listed in the video description above. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pop you down, talk through them and show you how it's done. So let's first of all talk about the paper that you need. So you need quite a heavy paper, so something either from a sketchbook or some card or watercolour paper, a type of paper that will hold water well. Don't use printer paper as it will disintegrate, because the next thing that you need to do before I talk about anything else is to put your paper into water, which seems a very strange thing to do, but I will explain why in a moment or two. So I've just got a shallow container here filled with water, and you want to pop them in and let those soak while we're doing the rest of the session. You'll also need your milk bottle, so cleaned and dried out, and we're going to cut a small piece from the flat part of the milk bottle. This will dictate the size of your design, so make sure that the design that you have is no bigger than that part. So I've just gone for a sketch, just a pen and ink sketch. You could print something off from a computer. Just with your design, just remember that because this is a transfer print, then it will require being in reverse. So this is especially important if you are printing text. So just as I mean, so this is my final print, and you'll notice it's the other way round to what I start with. So just make sure that that is reverse or a mirror image to the final print that you want. So just a couple of things to bear in mind there with your design. You're also going to need a Sharpie, just a fine line one, or you can actually just trace this without, but I'll show you what I mean in a minute. You'll also need an awl or something with a nice sharp point to it. So another thing you could use is the point from a pair of compasses. You'll want some ink. So this is a special type of ink. So you'll find this called Italio ink. You see it spelt there, INTAGLIO. Special kind of ink. Block printing ink can work as well, but this really is the best stuff to use. It comes in lots of different colours. I really like a black and white print, so I'm just going to go with the black ink. You'll also need a piece of scrim, muslin, some kitchen towel, and it's quite handy to have a little cotton bud or something known as a Q-tip just to one side as well, just for cleaning up the plate. Now that might seem like some really odd things to have as equipment, but all will be revealed as I go through each step. And the first step is to cut up a milk bottle. So nice, clean and dry milk bottle. If you're just joining us, then we are making these cute little etching prints from a milk bottle. And I'm going to use a pair of scissors, or you could use a craft knife. And I just want to carefully cut my milk bottle. And I'm looking for this flat section to use. Okay. So if you want to make smaller prints, then you can always use these parts as well. So nothing really goes to waste. I just want to double check going to fit. So I cut there. Brilliant. And you might notice, it does depend on the manufacturer of the milk bottle, but you'll notice that the outside has a slightly rough texture and the inside is smooth, and it's the smooth side that you want to use. So I can place that over my design, and if you don't have a Sharpie pen, then you can just use your sharp point on your awl just to scratch into the surface. I quite like to use a Sharpie pen because when you just scratch into the surface, it's difficult to see where you've gone without holding it up and moving it to the light to see where all those crevices are that you've made. So I just quite like to go with a Sharpie pen all the way around the design, just tracing it onto the plastic. Because when you scratch onto the plastic, it removes the Sharpie pen, or quite a lot of it, so you can see exactly where you've been. And what's really nice with this is you can get some really lovely fine detail as well. So if you're watching live today, please do pop into the comments, say hello. It's always lovely to know who's watching and where you're watching from. And if you're watching this on replay, then just give us a thumbs up. Okay, so that's my design traced. Bring it down a bit. Then I need to use the sharp point. So as I said, you could also use a pair of compasses if you don't have an awl. And I'm going to scratch in all those lines in. And the thinner your line when you scratch, the thinner your line will be on your print. The thicker and deeper it is, the thicker it will be on your print. So it's almost like you're just drawing. Okay, so it's just the eye to do. I just think when you do that, an eye on a person or a bird or an animal, it can really make or break break your print. So you just get it in the wrong place and it looks odd. Okay, I'll just do some fill bits here. I want a bit of a shadow going on. Okay, so just to talk you through what we've done so far. So we've taken our plastic milk bottle and we've taken out the flat piece. We've traced a design and we're using the inside of the bottle so it's nice and smooth. Trace the design with the Sharpie and then we've just scratched away into the plastic using a sharp point, scratched all the lines that we made, and that is now our printing plate. So now we have to go over, find a piece of scrap paper, and one of the pieces that you cut off, just you trimmed off, you just want to use that. I'm just going to cut it slightly smaller. We're going to use that to apply the ink. So you want to grab some ink on that piece of plastic and smooth it over, and you'll be able to feel and see all those lines filling up. Go over it a few times. And then you can use the, once you've taken off the ink from your piece of plastic, just use that just to take off as much of the ink as you can. And then get your piece of rag, and what we want to do is just start cleaning up plastic. So I'm going to start by making the outline, because any ink that's left on here will print up. Don't worry about the ink drying, that's not a problem, because the next part of the process kind of rejuvenates that ink. So when we take our paper out of the water and lay it onto our printing plate, onto our plastic, it rejuvenates all the ink. The paper soaks up the ink from all of the little scratches that we've made. It draws it out onto the paper, and that is how the print is made. So I'm going to use the fact that we've got quite a lot of ink here to our advantage. So I'm just going to use my cotton bud. Move it out of the way actually now. Let's just use that cotton bud just to clean the little feet off. for his claws. And the part where there's a gap. And then this actually makes quite a nice sort of bark. Almost like it's on a branch. So I'm not going to clean that bit up too much. And I'm going to go back in with a cotton bud. And I'm really going to clean up around here. Because it's sort of based on a sparrow. And they've got those kind of white cheeks. And I'm just going to clean up the rest of it. Again, some bits I'm taking off completely. Some bits I'm allowing the ink to work to our advantage and give me that colouring, the separation, the shadows. Now, if you're watching and haven't got time to do this today, then don't forget you can save this video and watch it later. So if you find the 3 white dots, and they're possibly sort of at the bottom right hand corner, depending on what device you're watching it on. If you click on that, and then the first option that comes up is to save it. So you can save this and watch it later. If you want to share it to your timeline or into a group, a craft group or something like that that you're in, then please do feel free, hit the share button and then you can share it. Okay, almost there. This is one thing I love about printing. You never quite know how it's going to turn out. You can have a little idea, but ultimately it's not until the print is revealed that you'll know how it turns out. Okay, so I just want to make sure my hands are ink free. A little wash. Put that to one side while I prepare the paper. Okay. So take a clean cloth. This is clean, believe it or not. It's one of my art tea towels. And you want to take that paper out of the water. Ah, this isn't actually clean. Just grab another clean cloth for you. Not sure what I did in the other one. Ah, it's on the floor. Okay, anyway, I've got this one. Right, this is definitely clean. So take your paper out. And we don't want to totally dry it. We just want to get rid of sort of where it's glistening, because there's a good chance that that will smudge our ink. And then you want to lay that on top. Now once you've laid it on, don't be tempted to move it, because that needs to lay down. If you move it again, you'll pick up the ink from the other places and it will smudge. Let's just have a quick peek how it's going. So I'm just using the back of my spoon to press down, make contact with the paper and the plate, the inking plate. Just double checking. If you're lucky enough to have a press, a printing press, then you can use, smudged it, did I smudge it? Then you can use that as well, or instead of your spoon. Just turn it slightly. Just do a little bit more on the beak. That doesn't want to come out for some reason. One last little bit there. Okay. Oh. And then we can reveal our print. So from a milk bottle to a print. Maybe you've got one sitting in your fridge right now. Perhaps you've got one in your recycling bin. Go find it, clean it out, and please do have a go. And we always love to know if you've tried out any of the sessions. So please do comment, please do share your photos. It's always lovely to hear from you. So I hope that's inspired you to have a go. Thank you so much for watching. Happy printing, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.